What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to the OCG Metagame Breakdown number 1. I know I'm very late on this one. I'm 10 days late, but this is my last time being late on a video, at least right now, because I finally got to catch up with everything. So expect some combo videos and deck profiles and everything coming up real soon, actually starting tomorrow. But yeah, this is going to be a really interesting one because the OCG just got all the TCG exclusives that we had the pleasure of playing with for the past couple of months. And by pleasure, I mean, it's been really annoying to see Mitsurugi cards literally every single match you play. It's either pure Mitsurugi or yummy Mitsurugi or something else featuring Mitsurugi, but this is actually getting more annoying than Feedsmith. And as you can see, the most popular Mitsurugi build is also playing with Feedsmith. How beautiful, huh? Yeah, you just link off two monsters for Namur, Cerberus into Mermaid, Moon of the Close Sky and Feedsmith Requiem, and then you end on the exact same shit every single time. Fantastic. But yeah, let's get right into this breakdown as soon as you smash the like and subscribe button. So yeah, it's pretty big. It covers 261 top performing decks from 53 tournaments in 3 different countries during the span of like the first week of October. And the number 1 top performing deck is actually Malice, because it plays very well into the non-engine that people are playing right now. So because of the existence of Mitsurugi, a lot of people are main decking Drool and Logbird, and Drool is actually really bad against Malice. Even in the TCG, we're seeing the same thing. Malice has been seeing more play ever since the ban list. Actually, it's really funny, but the ban list almost made Malice better, even though it nerfed it to death with Dormouse getting limited and Splash Mage getting banned. It does hurt a lot, but the thing is, like, it's almost a good thing for Malice that people are no longer respecting it, because there's no more Artifact Lancias, there's a lot of hand shops that are, like I said, completely dead against it, and also people are just not really preparing with Malice in mind when they're, you know, deck building or when they're going to events. So Malice is a very good meta call for this event. And also in the OCG, Malice has not really been nerfed or anything. Like, this deck is still extremely good. It's not like the TCG where you can say, oh yeah, but Splash Mage is bad, Link Decoder, blah blah blah. No, in the OCG they have all that, so Malice is still an extremely scary deck. So obviously this deck is correct in the OCG. In second place, obviously Mitsurugi. You can expect Mitsurugi to be like in the top 3 best decks in the OCG, like on release. First of all, because it's a very good deck, but also because it's a new deck and people have been trying to like play these cards for a while. Obviously the OCG, you know, they're not stupid. They know what's going on in the TCG. They've been studying us, and this deck has been around for so long that they know exactly everything you can do with it. So Razor Mitsurugi, that's one of the very popular builds that people have been experimenting with. I've been seeing some tournament results, and Feedsmith Mitsurugi is the most popular one, but there is also like pure Mitsurugi where you just play a bunch more hand shops, etc. And also Feedsmith Razor Mitsurugi. Yeah, that one was always like one of the least popular ones in the TCG. Even though, I mean, it did see some success, you know, like 50 card builds or something like that. I've seen this around. And then for Yummy, obviously, I'm not going to cover this too much because this deck actually did get nerfed in an interesting way in the OCG. So Yummy Snatchy is at 2. So people have been cutting Martial Metal Marcher because of that. We're going to be covering this very soon. So, yeah, it's interesting. They're doing something very similar to what we are doing in Yummy Mitsurugi now. And then, yeah, Sky Striker, that's actually kind of crazy. The top 4 decks are, like, super, almost, like, identical in terms of, like, performance. You know, 31, 33, 36, 39. There is not a huge gap at all between them. It's not like there's one clear winner. But then, right after Sky Striker, then all of a sudden, it's like almost half in terms of representation. So Orcus, Dragontail really not doing as well as Yummy. And then the K9 decks, they're nowhere to be found. Not a single good K9 deck. I mean, I guess like K9 Crystron is the best K9 deck that is doing like relatively well, but it's doing even worse than Odeon, which is very interesting. Well, actually, I guess K9 Vanquish Soul, right? This deck, it's really just doing well because the OCG players have been trying to like experiment with it because they've been inspired by Diego, who won YCS Lille with Primite Odeon. There you go. Yeah. Anyways, K9 Crystron best deck. Shoutouts to my spreadsheet, which you can find on my website, yacineygo.com. Very first link at the top of the description box below. Shameless plug, of course. White Forest, the deck that beat me because I misplayed to it at the YCS. That was 100% my fault. DDD, Hack-a-Hands Chimera, Killer Tune. This deck is... I was expecting a little more from this deck, unfortunately. Memento, Atlantean, In-Aircraft, another one of the new decks with Killer Tune and Hack-a-Hands. But yeah, Hack-a-Hands is actually doing better than the other two. That's really cool. Feedsmith Evil Twin. Wow, okay, only 2. Primate Blue Eyes, Radiant Typhoon, Goblin Biker. I want to see more Radiant Typhoon cards being played in Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall. If not in the TCG, at least in Genesis. I think that's gonna happen. It might look like the next Runic deck. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Rescue Ace, Snake Eyes, Cyber Dragon, best deck, of course. Gemini, Unchained. whatever this is, goatee, dog shit, a lot of 60 card decks, Jirak, Fire King, okay, blah blah blah, okay, who cares? Alright, Malice, so yeah, obviously it's well positioned, it can side roll and logboard, I mean everybody can, it can also main deck it, but it can play deck lockdown because it doesn't really search all too much, and it doesn't special summon from deck except with TB11, but apart from that, it doesn't really care. And yeah, I mean, it's also not a deck that loses to D-Bearer, which feels so freaking good. Imagine people, their main side, like, their side deck blowouts are cards like D-Bearer and stuff like that, where they actually just serve no purpose against you. And also, Malice has the advantage of being a Dominus Impulse deck. And in case you didn't know, in case your name is Patrick and you've been living under a rock, you would know that Dominus Impulse is the #1 hand trap that you're trying to play if you can play it. Because everything else, like, everybody can play them, so it's not like you can say, oh yeah, but I feel special for being able to play Fua, Ash, and Imperm. Who cares? Everybody else can do it, so yeah. Apart from that, I mean, yeah, nothing very special with this Malice deck list. It's pretty standard. Deck Devastation Virus, I guess, is the most unique thing here. Apart from that, I don't really care. Alright, moving on. We've got Mitsurugi. I am not going to be covering any of this because it is a Mitsurugi Fiendsmith combo, as you can see here, with Moon of the Closed Sky, so it is not TCG legal. Although, it doesn't really change anything, because even though in this step it uses Habakiri and Nightsword Serpent, you obviously could just use 2 level 4 monsters, and then make Evil Storm Excite on Knight, and then make Requiem, so honestly, Fiendsmith Mitsurugi is still very, like, viable. It's just that I wouldn't really want to play it, just because, I don't know, I'd rather make another rank 4 instead, right? And then use, like, Galen Granite and, like, a Habakiri for Moon. So I would be able to get, like, Nibiru and, like, full Fiendsmith combo. Or something like that. Or like, do Garrus. Or Cross Sheep, draw a bunch of cards. You can draw so many cards in this deck. I do like this deck overall. It's a good deck. It's a very good mid-range deck. It just feels like overall it has, like, no real threats. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it loses too much. And also, I was gonna say, it's very ballsy to play Dominus Impulse with a Fiendsmith package, but it's only 1 engraver, so honestly, who really cares too much? Like, if you impulse your opponent going second, then all you gotta do is just, like, not... Like, you forget that you even play Fiendsmith cards to begin with in your extra deck. And obviously, if you draw the engraver, then it is what it is, right? It's not like you're forced to go into the Fiendsmith engine anyways. So, it's really just a brick, but it's always a brick anyways. And if you're going first, then you're setting the Dominus Impulse. Or it doesn't conflict with Caesar anyways, and then, like, once you're done making the Caesar, the Fiendsmith cards don't really do anything anymore, because it's really just a 4-card package. It's Moon, Requiem, Nekukra Princess, and Caesar. That's it. There's no sequence into DSE array because you're not going to have enough Light Fiends in rotation. So yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Illusion Gate in the side deck, very, very good against Yumi. It's like a Regeki that also revives back any of the monsters, any one monster that your opponent summoned, like, at any moment during the game. I mean, that's how it worked in, like, the anime. And yeah, it's also the same thing in real life, and it also ignores the summoning conditions, which is so stupid. This card is absolutely broken. It's ridiculous. Like, it doesn't get any better than Illusion Gate, but also it makes you lose half of your life points, and it's a once per duel effect. So, you know, that's the only small little drawback. It makes sense. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to kill you during the end phase, or at least kill someone else. But, you know, unfortunately, in Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life, we can't really do that. Unfortunately, I think that's the only real drawback, actually, when you think about it. It's not even like the half your life points, but yeah. The virus trap cards, we do love viruses. I love getting sick. So Deck Devastation Virus, Eradicator. Eradicator is interesting. I don't really know if it really covers that much. Like, it's not great against Mitsurugi, I think. Because they can just search, like, a spell in a separate chain link. Yeah, I don't really think that's too great. And then against Malice, not really good. Against Yumi, not the best. Against Sky Striker, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Eradicator call spells, it's a wrap. Against Dragon Tail, not really good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why Eradicator is here. I don't really think that's, like, the perfect timing for it. But yeah, Deck Devastation Virus has been pretty popular. And I think it's there because of Yumi. I don't know, I could be wrong. But yeah, obviously, if you can rip a lot of their hand shops and a lot of their monsters, that is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So I could actually think of even citing Deck Devastation Virus in, like, Lunalight or some random bullshit. But yeah, anyways, Yumi, speaking of the devil. So yeah, this deck is pretty annoying, and obviously got a little nerf, like I said, so Martial Metal Marcher was required, but it makes you burn through way too many of your Snatchies, and since Snatchy is now at 2, they've got a completely different combo now. I don't know if you've been keeping track on, like, Facebook and stuff, but a lot of people have been posting things about, like, Tatsunoko. Not like Tatsuno Toshigo, not the Memento monster, but like the Synchro level 3 that can synchro with like a monster from your hand. And also people have been playing Cupid Pitch and Borreload Savage Dragon, so they can get 2 Omni Negates in, even with like 1 Herald of Arclight. So their their interruptions at the end, it's Herald, Omni Negate, Borreload Savage Dragon, Omni Negate, and then obviously the rest of the yummy interruptions, so a Croaky Pop, and then they also got the Cookie that can destroy, and then the Cookie Yummy Way that can Book of Moon 2 monsters, and then Yummy Surprise that can bounce back too. They are lacking the Lollipop, interestingly enough, so yeah, that's like 6 instead of 7 disruptions, and there is no SP in here, yeah, no IP, whatever. The extra deck space is still super tight. Link Spider is still being played, okay, and yeah, a lot of just random shit that people are playing. I mean, Cupid Pitch. This doesn't search Nibiru, it has to be a level 8 or lower, if I recall correctly. So, what are you searching with this? Is it like Fua so that you can sync with, I don't even know. I really don't know. Maybe you're supposed to make it like Cupid Pitch with, hold on a second, and then it becomes level 7, and then you sync with a level 1, and then, yes, no, maybe, I have no idea what you're, whatever, who cares, I don't care, because Borreload Savage Dragon is banned in the TCG, so it's not like I really need to understand these combos, right? Unless it randomly gets unbanned because of, Majesty Spoon coming out in Burst of Protocol as an OCG import. It's only been 10 years. Yeah. Anyways, the side deck doesn't really have anything too special. Metatronus for the mirror match. Artifact Lancia. Wow, that's crazy. Still citing Lancia. Actually, never mind. It's not even that unique. Mitsurugi was on Lancia as well. And then, actually, everybody's on Lancia. I'm just extremely stupid. Because in the TCG, nobody's on Lancia. Literally not one single person. They're still respecting Malice. I mean, look at the deck, though. This is not nerfed at all. I mean, yeah, okay, sure, 1 Dormouse. Link Decoders, there are Splash Pages there. And then, yeah, apart from that, it's pretty much the same thing. Oh, hold on a second. There is 3 Field Spells, and then there is 3 White Rabbit. So if anything, the deck is actually much better in the OCG than it is in the TCG. No shit, it's doing well there. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, in the TCG, it's like super crippled, and it's still good. That's just to give you an idea of how good the Malice cards are, and how good of a meta call it is, in a format where there's just like so many Mitsurugis running around and so many Droll and Logbirds. And speaking of Droll and Logbird, this is another like topic here. Since Droll is really good in this format and people are main decking it, you really want to play the Radiant Typhoon, quickly spell card that discards 1 to draw 2, and you can use it on the draw phase. So, you know, you're getting 2 draws first, and then you're also getting 2 spells in the grave. And then if you can get like a 3rd spell in the grave and then activate Engage, you're searching a card and you're drawing a card in the same chain, so if you do get drolled on the resolution, it's really not the end of the world. You don't really care too much. And there's also other ways, other very, interesting ways of dodging Droll and Logbird in this deck. So you can go multi-roll, send one of your own cards to the grave, and then you activate a spell or whatever that draws or searches, and then on the resolution, you have turn player priority to activate one of your quickly spell cards, well, one of your spell speed 2 cards, before your opponent uses a spell speed 2 card or effect. You can use one of your quickly spells, and then your opponent cannot respond because of multi-roll. That's it, you know, your card resolves, and then your opponent lost the window of being able to activate like a spell speed 2 effect. So this is one of the unique plays that people were doing before in order to keep the Ling, Droll, and Logbird. It wasn't negating the card, obviously, it's just that your opponent couldn't legally activate Droll because of multi-roll preventing the opponent from responding, and obviously you have turn player priority. So it's very crafty. Forbidden Droplet can do something literally identical, where on the resolution of you searching or drawing, you change Droplet, again, your turn player, so you can do it. So it's nice to see that this is one of the most technical decks that you can play. It is played a little different from how the TCG is playing it. First of all, there's the level 1 CL, I forgot the name of this monster. I'm pretty sure it's like, hold on. Okay, I'm very... Is it no, wait, no. Okay, you know what? Okay, look. Sky Striker. It's always treated as a Sky Striker. Oh, yeah, there you go. Cianis, not Cielo. Pillar of the Future. Yeah, you can discard a spell, special summon it from the hand. If this card is no more special, you can summon any rules from the deck or grave. And then you're locked to the machines only for the rest of the turn. And then you can banish it from the grave to take a rose that is banished from your grave, add it to your hand, or special summon it. It's fine. You really don't need this to play, honestly. And also, Area 0 is not really being played on the TCG. And we have 3 desires. That's like one of the main differences. And, sorry, we also all-side 3 Heatwave in this deck because it is completely broken. And we play more spell cards and less orange cards. So yeah, there is no like Fua or Ash or Maxi or Cianis in the main deck. It's really just like 4 monsters with like maybe Foolish Burial Goods in the main deck. And more spell cards, etc. blah blah blah. And potentially Regeki in the main deck. Yeah, in conclusion, a lot of Droll and Logbirds are being main decked. And yeah, the OCG players are just having fun with the TCG exclusives that we got to play for the longest time, and they didn't. Apart from that, I mean, it really feels like the same format again and again, because Malice is the #1 best deck, especially because of the existence of Mitsurugi. And then Yummy is still really good, you know, 2 Yummy Snatchy doesn't change shit. Just like in the TCG, limiting Herald of Arclight almost made this deck better. You know, like it almost feels really disrespectful how Obedience School went to 1, and it didn't even affect the deck at all, because the best Yummy build, Yummy Mitsurugi, doesn't even play Obedience School for the most part. Some deck lists do, but whatever, it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about the OCG format in the comment section below. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.